Sophie Cunningham got a real physical beatdown, man.
Like, she just clocks her in the face.
DeWanna Bonner just got done doing your team absolutely dirty.
DeWanna Bonner clocked her in the face with an elbow.
Sophie has been balling out the last month or so.
A brand new camera angle has revealed exactly how DeWanna Bonner's elbow caught Sophie Cunningham in the face, leaving her with a black eye. And Caitlyn Clark was furious.
This, by the way, I mean this when I say this, like, DeWanna Bonner clocked her in the face with an elbow. It's clear that she tried to make a swim move.
This wasn't just hard basketball. It was another moment where the Fever stars took the hit and the refs let it slide. Comment 100% if you stand with Caitlyn Clark.
It's very clear she tried to make a swim move. She tried to go past her. It is what it is. It's not a dirty play by any means. It's an offensive foul.
The new camera angle changes everything. Until now, fans only had quick glimpses of the collision between DeWanna Bonner and Sophie Cunningham.
DeWanna Bonner is being guarded by Sophie Cunningham here and clocks her in the face.
But in this footage, you see it in full, clear, slowed down, and impossible to explain away.
1 minute, she's balling out, having a good game. And of course, we saw the slump happen from the Indiana Fever. They just started collapsing.
Sophie is locked in on defense, shadowing Bonner closely off the ball.
She was very nice when she talked about DeWanna Bonner in glowing terms. She just said, you know, like, why can't you couldn't give us a text to let us know you were leaving? That's it. She was glowing, spoke about DeWanna in glowing terms.
There's no trash talking, no pushing beforehand, just intense, physical guarding like you'd expect from Sophie.
She's trying to swim over. It's a significantly less violent version. If you guys haven't seen the Brona Power Cassidy swim on Caitlyn Clark during her college year, that just literally ended up looking like she threw a haymaker at Caitlyn Clark.
DeWanna Bonner cheap shotted, or she kind of like smacked her to, you know what I mean? But it was an intentional.
Then as Bonner tries to break free, she executes what's known in basketball as a swim move. A motion where a player swings their arm over the defender to create space.
Right here, we can see where the actual elbow to the eye.
The problem, this wasn't a clean move. Bonner's elbow doesn't simply pass over Sophie's shoulder. It comes up and through, high enough to connect directly with Sophie's face.
Now, Sophie is a soldier. She took it like a champ, and she didn't complain. She just wore her black eye like, you know, a war scar, you know, like a badge of honor.
The point of contact is brutal. Right around the eye socket, you can see the instant reaction from Sophie as her head jerks back and her hand immediately goes to her face.
Sophie Cunningham, what kind of league is this? Like, where this is like hip hop, where like there's no other league like this, where one person says something about another person and then the other person retaliates with violence on the court.
It's not the kind of reaction you get from a light graze. It's the reaction to being hit hard in one of the most sensitive areas you can be struck in sports. By the end of the game, the damage was clear. Sophie was sporting a swollen, darkened eye, an undeniable mark of the impact.
She is a star. She is abso-fucking-lutely a star. Regardless of what you want to think or what your definition of star is, there's no definition of star when it comes to the WNBA.
What makes this more infuriating for Fever fans is how it unfolded in front of the officials.
And by the way, I'm just trying to look at where the refs are here. This referee is looking at the ball. Which means there are two referees. One of them is meant to be looking here. And like, there are two trail refs. It is what it is. It is what it is. Whoever's on the baseline is supposed to be looking at the off-the-ball stuff.
There were multiple referees in position to see it. The baseline referee was focused on the ball handler, but that's why the trail referee's job exists, to catch exactly this kind of off-ball contact.
And the referees are just ignoring that. We are literally getting ticky-tack fouls, and then players are out there getting smacked in the face. The referees are like, you know what? It's all good. Like, we're gonna go and let you get smacked in the face.
Somehow, none of them blew the whistle. Not for an offensive foul, not even for an inadvertent contact review. Nothing. Play went on as if Sophie hadn't just taken an elbow to the face.
Aaliyah Boston gets called for an offensive foul for being stronger than her opponent. Like, she will completely within her cylinder, someone will be backing her down and like her elbow will hit someone here, or like this part of her arm, not even her elbow, this part of her arm will hit somebody here, which you're allowed to chicken wing somebody in the post.
And for those who follow the Fever closely, this is becoming a pattern. Aaliyah Boston gets whistled for minor bumps in the post while staying within her legal space. But opponents can deliver shots to the head, like this one, and skate away without a call.
There is not enough contact to warrant a flagrant. Absolutely no way we're talking about a flagrant foul here. But that is 1,000,000% a attempt to push off that leads to a hit in the face, and it is an offensive foul.
This wasn't a scramble for a loose ball. It wasn't a contested rebound where limbs are flying everywhere. It was a direct, high contact during one-on-one defense. That's an automatic foul in any league when called consistently.
She was trying to mix it up with Sophie. She wanted that smoke. She wanted that smoke. She wanted, and this was after she blacked her out. Look at her face. She's just so angry, filled with hate. She's so filled with hate. Now, Sophie is a soldier. She took it like a champ, and she didn't complain. She just wore her black eye like, a war scar, like a badge of honor.
The most telling part, even without complaining, Sophie's pain was obvious. She played through it, kept hustling, and didn't let the incident define her night. But the footage now circulating has lit a fire under fans, and under Caitlyn Clark, who was nearby when it happened.
It's just an indictment on the league. Like, it's just not a good thing to see. And like, the thing is like, as much as people don't want to say it, Sophie Cunningham is a star player.
The look on Caitlyn's face said it all. This was another moment where the Fever's stars took the punishment and the league's officials turned a blind eye. That's the kind of thing that stays with a team and fuels the next time they meet on the court.
Boston had the weakest hedge I've ever seen, man. Look at the hedge. Look at it. Man, that is weak, man. And I don't know where Lexi is going. Why are you fighting so hard to get back like that? Why are we not going over the screen again?
To fully understand why this elbow has stirred up so much emotion, you have to look at the history between DeWanna Bonner and the Indiana Fever, and more specifically, between Bonner and Sophie Cunningham. Not long ago, Bonner was wearing a Fever jersey herself, but her time in Indiana ended in one of the most controversial ways a veteran player could leave a team.
No one feels sorry for her. If this was a black player with a black eye from a white player, and she was like known as Kamala Keisha. She was open about her support for Kamala, and a white player who didn't, who resented that, there was resentment about that when she came out for Kamala.
Instead of a heartfelt farewell to the fans, or even a simple thank you to her teammates, Bonner walked away without a word. No goodbye text, no social media post, no acknowledgement at all to the people she'd just shared a locker room with.
Bonner is not that fast. Come on now. Y'all know what I say, man. When you pull Boston to that perimeter, she's not coming out of that paint, all right? This is as far as she's going. She got a chain on her to that paint, man.
For many, including Sophie, it wasn't just unprofessional, it was personal. Sophie later addressed it in a calm but pointed way, saying she wished Bonner had at least sent a message to the group before leaving. She even spoke respectfully about Bonner's talent and career, calling her a Hall of Fame caliber player. But for some, those words still seemed to hit a nerve. The way Bonner exited the team left a bitter taste in the mouths of Fever fans who felt disrespected, and it set the stage for tension in future matchups.
Look, we all felt like what she did was classless, but I think this sort of confirms it. When you ignore your teammates, when you just decide you're not going to say anything to them about you leaving, not going to tell anybody to your knowledge goodbye.
Fast forward to this game, and you could feel that tension from the start. Bonner wasn't just playing hard. She was chirping, talking, and celebrating every big play with extra energy. Every basket, every stop, came with a look or a word for someone on the Fever bench.
Started the second half, Sophie Cunningham on the bench. It's absolutely ridiculous. 7 for 30 from the three-point line, 23%, 13 free throw attempts, 53% from the free throw line. Can you make a damn free throw?
And with Sophie guarding her for stretches of the night, it felt like a collision, figuratively and literally, was bound to happen. That's what makes the elbow play feel different to so many fans. Sure, on paper, it could be argued as a basketball move gone wrong, but in the larger context, it looked like the physical embodiment of unresolved bad blood.
Hey, I'm turning it up a notch, man. I'm turning it up a notch. They done made it personal. All right, now you know this is their get-back game. They want to get back at y'all. And you come in and you roll over that way. That's tough, man. You gotta have more backbone. Gotta have more fire in your heart. You gotta want it, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come out wanting it.
The perfect storm of past drama, public comments, and on-court intensity boiling over in a split-second moment. For Fever fans and for Caitlyn Clark watching it all unfold, this wasn't just one hard foul. It was a reminder of the way Bonner left the team, the disrespect they felt from it, and the lingering chip on the shoulder that was on full display the moment her elbow connected with Sophie's face.
So basically what ended up happening is she tried to swim, she tried to cut and then change direction to swim over Caitlyn Clark. And in the end, it's one of those movements in basketball that is absolutely possible to clock somebody in the face.
When Sophie Cunningham took that elbow, Caitlyn Clark's reaction was immediate and telling. She wasn't the one who got hit, but the frustration on her face made it clear she'd seen enough of these moments go unchecked. Standing just a few feet away, Caitlyn locked eyes on the officials, clearly waiting for a whistle that never came. When it didn't, she turned back to the play with a look that said everything. Disbelief mixed with the simmering anger of a competitor who's tired of the same story repeating itself.
This isn't like, oh, DeWanna Bonner's targeting Sophie Cunningham or any of that nonsense. We're not doing that.
What stood out almost as much as the elbow itself was what didn't happen afterward. On other teams, when a star player takes a shot like that, the response is swift. More aggressive defense, louder voices toward the refs, a visible show of solidarity. But here, Sophie got up, adjusted her headband, and kept playing.
Like, there is not enough contact to warrant a flagrant. Absolutely no way we're talking about a flagrant foul here. But that is 1,000,000% a attempt to push off that leads to a hit in the face. And it is an offensive foul.
Largely on her own. There was no major pushback, no physical message sent back to Bonner, and no one stepping into the referee's ear to demand an explanation. That lack of visible fight is what's frustrating Fever fans the most. Sophie had been giving everything, diving for loose balls, defending hard, and knocking down shots. And still, when she was physically targeted, she was left to keep battling alone. Caitlyn's glare toward the officials captured the emotion fans were feeling, but the team as a whole didn't channel that moment into an energy shift.
I don't know if the Fever just don't feel like talking. I don't know what the hell, but they got short.
Yeah, AZ was good to me, but I'm way happier where I'm at now. It was good to see people. It was fun to play in front of some fans. But for me, I'm way happier in Indiana.
This isn't the first time Fever players have been on the receiving end of overly physical play without much backup from teammates. Whether it's Caitlyn being knocked down or Sophie taking an elbow, the pattern is the same. The star gets hit, the refs stay silent, and the Fever don't fully rally in response. In a league where physicality is part of the game, showing your opponent you'll protect your own isn't optional. For Caitlyn, for Sophie, and for fans watching, this was another example of a team that needs to stand taller when moments like this happen. The frustration was written all over Caitlyn's face, and you can bet she's going to remember it the next time they see Bonner in the Mercury.
And it was a couple turnovers. That one DeWanna Bonner moment with her where she just holding on to her and she's swinging arms around. I think she had it before that moment. So I'm just like, I don't know what else happened to give her that black eye. Now, my thing is, though, man, if that is my teammate and I see she got a black eye.
This new angle doesn't just show an elbow. It shows a bigger problem. When a player like Sophie Cunningham can take a direct shot to the face, play through the pain, and still not get the call, it raises serious questions about consistency and player protection in the league.
Neutral on this one.
See, this is where I'm not really feeling this part. All this, I want people to be happy. Sophie, I understand it, but this is still a business. A lot of people aren't happy on the teams they're on. A lot of people are not going to the playoffs at all. Kelsey Plum is not happy right now. Paige Beckers is not happy right now. Angel Reese is not happy right now. That doesn't mean you jump up and demand a trade or say, I'm not playing no more, or anything of that nature.
Add in the history between DeWanna Bonner and the Fever, and you can see why Caitlyn Clark's frustration boiled over in that moment. For Fever fans, this isn't just about one game. It's about a season's worth of moments where their stars have taken the hits and the whistles never came. And until that changes, the fire we saw in Sophie's toughness and in Caitlyn's glare will only keep growing. If you stand with Caitlyn Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and every Fever player who refuses to back down, make sure your voice is heard.